Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and things are about to get a little bit spicy, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried that retroactively YouTube might give me a strike for this, but I'm supposed to get rid of one of my strikes in 48 hours. We will see what happens here, but the long and the short of it is this. Rand Paul has now become the first person to really grill Anthony Fauci about gain of function research, about the Wuhan lab, and about the possibility, again, that this virus was biologically engineered and possibly able to mask itself through natural mutations that are not natural. Now, we're going to play this whole thing start to finish. Let me say this also. Tucker Carlson last night went further than I thought anybody would ever go on the Fauci. Okay, he absolutely did, at least in mainstream. Here's the problem. The narrative is still being created. This is CCP, this is CCP, this is CCP. But now that you start to bring people a little bit more forward thinking and you involve Anthony Fauci and the NIH and them funding certain research, right? Things begin to change. And more people can go down a path of the true origins of this virus. Because let's just review what you can say about this. You can say it's naturally occurring, right? You can speculate, as others have, that it was leaked out of a lab accidentally. But you certainly can't say that, number one, it was seeded out of a lab into different areas, right? You also have to always say it's the Wuhan lab, right? Because we have that first case, that case 0 that's just so close. And Rand Paul is going to bring that up in this. So we're going to play this entire clip, and then I don't think we could get away with playing the Tucker Carlson piece, which was like 15 minutes last night. And I was really surprised on YouTube. So what do? You make a free Rockfin account. We got the Android app. If you can't find the Android app, guys, I know that it's still not very, very searchable, and that's really weird. But you can go to my Twitter. You can check me out on Facebook. There's some links there. Rockfin now has the app. You know what's really cool about the app? I think if you're a paying subscriber, it has some really good features. You can turn your phone off to blank, and you can just listen to the audio like podcast form, which is great. I know a lot of people like that while they're driving. So I want to remind everybody before we get started with this clip, I'm a documentary filmmaker. All my films are free. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, Shade the Motion Picture. I want to tell you to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. And look, my broadcast last night about Cuomo, him talking about building back better, him forcing SUNY and CUNY to have the boopity boop, the Senate bill, which I don't know whether they voted on it yet today, but wanting all your immunization records on the spot in New York. That's a big video. What does it have? It has 2,500 views. We got 61,000 plus subscribers here. We've already been censored. They've already taken my channel down once, and I magically got it back. We still don't know how, right? So guys, please share this information, and especially this grilling we're about to go over. I want to thank Odyssey for backing up my channel. That's a place that you can find it if I do get kicked off this platform. And I'm going to say it again, Rockfin. Again, if you become a paid subscriber and you endorse Jason Burmis, you get everybody's content. It's $9.99 a month. It's only going to be growing. And this is how you support somebody. All the videos are ad-free. Okay? Whether they're free or not, in other words, you make the free account, there's a ton of free content, right? But all the videos are ad-free. That's another great thing. Even with your Amazon subscription, you've got to skip the ads in the beginning, right? And there's a ton of other apps giving you free content, but it's full of ads. No ads on Rockfin. And they happen to be a bastion for free speech, which allows me to talk about things like this. Now, again, I'm a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit worried about playing this because Rand Paul has been censored on YouTube before. But we're going to play this, and then we're gonna, move it over to Rockfin for the Tucker Carlson piece. Thumbs it up. We don't even have 100 thumbs up. Come on, guys, let's go.
Chair Murray.
Senator Paul.
Dr. Fauci, we don't know whether the pandemic started in a lab in Wuhan or evolved naturally, but we should want to know. 3 million people have died from this pandemic, and that should cause us to explore all possibilities. Instead, government authorities, self-interested in continuing gain-of-function research, say there's nothing to see here. Gain-of-function research, as you know, is juicing up naturally occurring animal viruses to infect humans. To arrive at the truth, the U.S. government should admit that the Wuhan Virology Institute was experimenting to enhance the coronavirus's ability to infect humans. Juicing up superviruses is not new. Scientists in the U.S. have long known how to mutate animal viruses to infect humans. For years, Dr. Ralph Barrick, a virologist in the U.S., has been collaborating with Dr. Shi Zhengli of the Wuhan Virology Institute, sharing his discoveries about how to create superviruses. This gain-of-function research has been funded by the NIH. The collaboration between the U.S. and the Wuhan Virology Institute continues. Doctors Barrick and Shi worked together to insert bat virus spike protein into the backbone of the deadly SARS virus.
Now, I just want to stop. All of this has been mainline news for well over a year. Well over a year, everything that Rand Paul has talked about is on the book. So you ask yourself, well, why now? Why is Rand Paul going hard now? Well, I think that he feels a little bit of comfort from the Tucker Carlson piece, which, again, I was really surprised by. I was extremely surprised by. I know we're not gonna be able to play that here, so that's only gonna be Rockfin. We're gonna do it after, but here we go. And by the way, Fauci does, in my opinion, look extremely frightened and nervous as he basically categorically denies everything.
And then use this man-made supervirus to infect human airway cells. Think about that for a moment. The SARS virus had a 15% mortality. We're fighting a pandemic that has about a 1% mortality. Can you imagine?
And by the way, according to the WHO, they put it at 0.6% last August. I haven't seen an update on that mortality rate yet.
If a SARS virus that's been juiced up and had viral proteins added to it, to the spike protein, if that were released accidentally.
And remember, again, as I said, it's always got to be the accidental narrative.
Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, with all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and does not now.
So you notice, we're going to go back in 10 seconds on that. He says you're entirely incorrect in that. And it's almost like a double entendre. He's trying to deny any involvement at all, but it's almost like he flips it on its head, maybe accidentally. Listen to him.
With all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and
see, has not ever, right? So basically he's saying he is correct that they have. It's an inverse, but he'll just say it was him misspeaking.
Does not now fund gain of function research in the Wuhan Institute.
Do they fund?
Let's listen to it one more time.
That the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain of function research in the Wuhan Institute.
Do they fund
of
Dr. Barrick?
We do not fund.
Do you fund Dr. Barrick's gain of function research?
Dr. Barrett does not doing gain of function research, and if it is, it's according to the guidelines.
So here's doublespeak again. He says he's not doing that. So he's admitting that, yes, they are funding him. But then he says, but if he is, he's not doing it, but if he is, it's under certain guidelines. Watch.
Do you fund Dr. Barrick's gain of function research?
Dr. Barrett does not doing gain of function research, and if it is, It's according to the guidelines, and it is being conducted in North Carolina.
Let's stop. Do you notice how he can't even get his words straight? Does not doing, is not doing. Well, listen to him. He's flustered here. He wasn't expecting this. Let's go back a couple more. Listen to him.
Of function research in the Wuhan Institute
Do they fund
of
Dr.
Virology.
Barrick?
We do not fund.
Do you fund Dr. Barrick's gain-of-function research?
Dr. Barrett does not doing gain-of-function research.
Does not
and if
doing.
it is, it's according to the guidelines, and it is being conducted in North Carolina, not
You don't think
in
inserting
China.
a bat virus spike protein that he got from the Wuhan Institute into the SARS virus is gain of function?
That is
You would be
not-
in the minority because at least 200 scientists have signed a statement from the Cambridge Working Group saying that it is gain of function.
Well, it is not. And if you look at the grant,
So again, he's basically using semantics to admit that everything Rand Paul is saying is true, but they're not calling it gain of function.
and you look at the progress reports, it is not gain of function, despite the fact that people tweet that.
So
they
do
write
you still
about it.
support sending money to the Wuhan Virology Institute?
And by the way, why are you bringing up Twitter, Anthony Fauci? But I didn't hear Rand Paul reference Twitter. You see how the diversionary tactics of them trying to say everything's misinformation that's on social media, right?
We do not send money now to the Wuhan
Do you
Virology
support
Institute.
sending money?
I mean, this is Let's go back again. Again, look, I'm no expert on how people act and their cues, et cetera, but he is flustered, man.
That people tweet that.
So
they
do
write
you still
about it.
support sending money to the Wuhan Virology Institute?
We do not send money now to the Wuhan
Do you
Virology.
support?
I'm sorry, but for me, after basically listening to this demon, in my opinion, this non-human entity, because humans know that human beings need to shake hands, and as soon as he made that statement that human beings should never shake hands again, I just assume that he doesn't think he's part of humanity anymore. But boy, is it satisfying seeing him being put on the spot and definitely nervous.
Sending money. We did, under your tutelage, we were sending it through EcoHealth. It was a sub-agency and a...
Notice he just said right. So everything Rand is saying is true. Let's listen. He's nervous. He's admitting to the funding. Let's go back again. I'm going to shut my mouth for a second.
The progress reports, it is not gain of function, despite the fact that people tweet that.
So
they
do
write
you still
about it.
support sending money to the Wuhan Virology Institute?
We do not send money now to the Wuhan
Do you
Virology
support
Institute.
sending money? We did, under your tutelage. We were sending it through EcoHealth. It was a sub-agency and a sub-grant. Do you support that the money from NIH that was going to the Wuhan Institute?
Let me explain to you why that was done. The SARS-CoV-1 originated in bats in China. It would have been irresponsible of us if we did not investigate the bat viruses and the serology to see who might have been
Or
infected.
perhaps it would be
in China.
irresponsible to send it to the Chinese government that we may not be able to trust with this knowledge and with this incredibly dangerous viruses. Government scientists like yourself who favor gain-of-function research...
I don't favor gain-of-function
maintain
research
that
in
the
China.
disease
You are
arose
saying
naturally.
things that are not correct.
Boy, he does not look good there. He is seething with Fauci in anger right here, boy. He does not look great. Hey, he's the no gain of function Fauci. He's the no gain of function Fauci.
Government defenders of gain-of-function, such as yourself, say that COVID-19 mutations were random and not designed by man. But interestingly, the technique that Dr. Barrick developed forces mutations by serial passage through cell culture that the mutations appear to be natural. In fact, Dr. Barrick named the technique the no-see-em technique because the mutations appear naturally. Nicholas Baker of the New York Magazine said nobody would know if the virus had been fabricated in a laboratory or grown in nature. Government authorities in the U.S., including yourself, unequivocally deny that COVID-19 could have escaped a lab. But even Dr. Shi in Wuhan wasn't so sure. According to Nicholas Baker, Dr. Shi wondered, could this new virus have come from her own laboratory? She checked her records frantically and found no matches. That really took a load off my mind, she said. I had not slept for days. The director of the gain of function research in Wuhan couldn't sleep because she was terrified that it might be in her lab. Dr. Barrick, an advocate of gain of function research, admits the main problem that the Institute of Virology has is the outbreak occurred in close proximity. What are the odds? Barrick responded, could you rule out a laboratory escape? The answer in this case is probably not.
So let's just stop it there. Again, I want to say this. You know, as people, we got over 400 watching. Can we get 200 thumbs up? I'm not even saying that this was leaked from the Wuhan lab. I want to make that clear, okay? I am saying that when you look at this virus, can you name another time in history when a flu-like virus caused people to stop smelling and tasting? Can you name another virus where Nobel Prize winners were looking at the literature and saying that it had a strain, an HIV insert in it? Okay, another coronavirus. Can we see another virus that was so transmissible to humans, at least initially? And remember, once things get out of a lab, it's kind of unpredictable, and they usually don't do as well. Okay, but when they told us it was a bat and then a pangolin, and now, remember, the WHO is investigating frozen meat. Okay? And what was the first thing I said when this started? I go, I'll believe that this is a naturally occurring virus when it takes out a billionaire. Can anybody point to the billionaire that died of COVID-19 over the last 13, 14 months? This novel coronavirus that we know nothing about. And why, thank you, Stephanie Ann, for that tip over at Rockfin. And I want to say thank you to Castillo as well. Make that free Rockfin account because we're almost done with this Fauci grilling. And he looks completely uncomfortable. He isn't speaking right? He's fumbling his words. And then we're going to play the Tucker Carlson clip exclusively at Rockfin. So here we go.
Will you, in front of this group, categorically say that the COVID-19 could not have occurred through serial passage in a laboratory?
I do not have any accounting of what the Chinese may have done, and I'm fully in favor of any further investigation of what went on in China. However, I will repeat again,
By the way, notice he didn't answer the question. He just said, I'm in favor of an investigation. And he wants to repeat again, he is not in favor of gain of function.
NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain of function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You do support it in the U.S. We have 11 labs doing it, and you have allowed it here. We have a committee to do it, but the committee has granted every exemption. You're fooling with Mother Nature here. You're allowing super viruses to be created with a 15% mortality. It's very dangerous. I think it was a huge mistake to share this with China, and it's a huge mistake to allow this to continue in the United States. And we should be very careful to investigate where this virus came from.
I fully agree that you should investigate where the virus came from.
Look at his eyes, man. They are going left to right. We should fully investigate where the virus came from.
But again, we have not funded gain of function research on this virus in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. No matter how many times you say it,
there was research. There was research.
Look at him. He's kind of like, it didn't happen. He's like, you're parsing words. Yo, Rand Paul, my man, he ain't perfect. He ain't perfect. He should have come out harder in the beginning. Everyone's got to go hard.
done with Dr. Shi and Dr. Barrick. They have collaborated on gain-of-function research where they enhanced the SARS virus to infect human airway cells, and they did it by merging a new spike protein on it. That is gain-of-function. That was joint research between the Wuhan Institute and Dr. Barrick. You can't deny it.
Senator Paul, your time has expired. Dr. Fauci, I will let you respond to that when we need to move on.
Believe me, he doesn't want to respond to it.
Excuse me?
I will allow you.
Look at his lip. Excuse me. I watch it again. This is golden.
And Dr. Barrick, you can't deny it.
Senator Paul, your time has expired. Dr. Fauci, I will let you respond to that when we need to move on.
Excuse me?
I will allow you to respond to that, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say, I don't know how many times I can say it, Madam Chair. We did not fund gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
His lip was quivering. That is the most befuddled I've ever seen the Faucian monster that has helped, really, guys, really enslave humanity and take away our freedoms here at home. And that is not debatable. I'm sorry. If you're for authoritarianism, if you want your entire life micromanaged, go get it, I guess. So here's the deal. This video is going to continue. 500 plus watching here. Let's get the thumbs up on the way out. Just as important as this video, the Cuomo video is so important if you guys haven't seen it. I need you to share this video. But now we're going to play the Tucker piece that really goes into depth of Fauci's connections to everything Rand Paul was talking about. But I haven't seen Fox News or Tucker put it up, and if they have, they've already probably censored it. You know where they're not going to censor it? They're not going to censor it over on Rockfin. So guys, thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. You want to financially support me? At Jason Burmis is the Venmo. There's links below in YouTube. Thank you very much. But make the premium account at Rockfin. By the way, make the free one. Come on over. But if you make the premium account, you endorse Jason Burmis, you get everybody's stuff. That's a great way to support me as well. So, YouTube, I love you. But go over to Rockfin because we can't play this over here. We'll probably get thrown